A J-Mix exclusive.
Hey, this is D Hart, Machiavelli Man, kicking it with J Mix.
What it do, world? This is the legendary Cocaine, and I'm kicking it with J Mix.
What's good? It's your man Money B. Sending a super shout out to the homie J Mix and everybody at TupacNation.net.
Man, this is Robert J kicking it with J Mix. And you know, I'm from the stove. Fillmore. We make 100 more. J Mix.
This is Phil Brewster kicking it with J Mix on Tupac Nation.
This is Mike Mosley kicking it with J Mix.
Hello all, it's J-Mix here, and I'd like to welcome all my YouTube subs and viewers to the latest installment of my exclusive interview with Mr. Darryl Harper. Now, because of the content of this interview and its running time, I'm just going to jump right on in. Darryl, you did work on Still I Rise.
I have 3 songs on Still I Rise.
How did they contact you for that project, and was it a somber mood going in to do a posthumous remix album?
It was weird. I don't know. I don't know how Tyrone and all the rest of them took it. I took it bad when Pac went. I went through this, mission in action thing. I know Tyrone was out at clubs and getting known and telling DJs he the one who did what I wasn't. I was secluded. And so when I was hired to go in and do the Still I Rise stuff, it was weird hearing his voice and I wasn't there. It As the World Turns, I actually sung the hook on that and wrote the hook on that. And it was weird singing behind his voice and he wasn't there. Like, I was tripping every time it was time for the hook to come in and me to sing it. It was like, man, it was weird. It was strange to me being in there on a Tupac session without Tupac. That was very weird to me. Yeah.
Were there a lot of scrap songs from that project that would surprise us fans?
Yeah, there were songs that didn't actually make the. I got a weird experience there. High Speed. It made the album, but actually, I don't know who grabbed it or whatever, but somebody else was taking credit for High Speed. And there was other tracks there that I didn't get a chance to listen to. They had Tupac reels there, and I knew I had did a lot more songs with Tupac than the ones that are published now. And I looked at a reel. I remember looking at a reel. We were at the record plant, and I remember looking at all these reels, and I remember how I used to write on the side of the bar. I said, "This looks like my writing." And High Speed had been it had some other producer's name on it. So I asked the engineer to pull it up and play it, and sure enough, it was mine. I remember Evie looking on me and said, "That yours?" I said, "Yeah, that's mine." And I said, "Man, I still got the disc for it. We used to use floppy disks. So I still got the disc for this one." And at that time, that day in the studio, they changed the producer's name and gave me credit for the song before we finished mixing it. But there was many that they had reels from Death Row that was for Still I Rise that didn't make the cut. I don't know why it didn't or why they didn't play them all or whatever, but yeah, there were other songs there. There were reels there that they didn't ask them to mix that day. Yeah, so yeah would be the answer. Yeah.
How do you feel about the subsequent posthumous remixes that have been put out since then?
Wow, just another tricky question. A lot of his late material after he passed, they weren't him. They were mixed with somebody else who sounds like him. So I'll just leave it at that. You know, there were songs that weren't finished that were finished in someone else's voice. And this is what I know. I'm not talking what I think. So some people was running around playing songs that they think is all Pac, and I know for a fact it ain't him. I actually know who the person is, you know what I mean? So I actually know who the person is. So
There is an alternate version of You Can Be Touched that people seem to think is the Realest rapping instead of Tupac.
There were quite a few to me that I hear. Now, I can, you know what, when I listen to them next to each other, I can tell. For one thing, it's like a marriage. The rhythm in his lyrics and his time and the gut feeling of how he raps. There are people who can emulate the tone of his voice, but they can't emulate all that he was. You know what I mean? His rhythm, his timing is way doper. The depth of how he raps is way doper. And his lyrics. And you would have to be actually tuned in to know. You have to tune in to really, like, man, he showed this switch up right there. You know.
Darryl, do you remember the names to some more songs that may not be Tupac?
I don't know. I would have to listen to every one to tell you which ones that I have already deciphered. I know a few songs that wasn't him. I know a few songs that wasn't him, but that wasn't all him. And then the other ones that people ask about, I would have to actually sit down and listen and see, you know, what I felt about them or whatever. But to keep it real, like the Realest is a friend of mine. You know, I worked with the Realest a few times, and Devon and I were, you know, we'll always be cool, but he had a tone that was cool, but he was not Pac. So that's where I leave that, you know. But did he sound like Pac? And he certainly did. I remember when Jewell first heard him for the first time. We were at Echo Sounds, and we were doing the Chronic 2000, and Jewell walked in and saw the Realest for the first time, and I was doing this song. And to be honest, the first time I worked with the Realest, I was really kind of embarrassed when other people got there, because Snoop showed up that day, the Outlaws showed up that day, and I was in there. You got to remember when Machiavelli was released, I didn't have any money. Suge was in jail, and the only people who were being paid was people like Suge. Everybody else was looking for checks. You know, everybody was calling up to death row trying to get paid. And when Suge called me from prison and asked me to go in to work with this guy, it was the only thing I was seeing there. You know what I mean? Because even my per diem, my monthly checks they had stopped. So when she said, man, I got this cat I want you to work with, ooh, I didn't want, you know, and I hate if the Realest hear this, because it wasn't that personal against him, but my feelings was this guy sounds like Pac, and everybody had called me and told me about him, and I was like, man, I really don't want to do that. I want it to be like I'll be betraying Pac, but at the same time, I needed the money. You know, and it was the only work I was getting. And I remember clearly having this gut feeling when Jewell walked in, because Jewell and Robin, Page, those were my girls. I loved them to death. But I remember when Jewell walked in, I had the same feeling I had when Snoop got there. I had the same feeling when the Outlaws got there. I had to feel like I had to over-explain why I was working with this guy. I thought they would probably look at me like this traitor. Snoop embraced me and told me, man, get your money, man. You got to get your money, man. You know, if that clown ain't paying you, and this is the only job he's going to give you right now, get your money. And I was so relieved. To this day, I have never told him thank you is the way I really felt it, because he could have really, and mentally could have really messed with me that day. Like, cuz, why would you, if he would have took that route, like, cuz, you know, this dude after working with Pac, if he would have took that direction, then I would have really been heartbroken. You know what I mean? It would have been shattering to me. But he embraced me basically and said, man, if that clown ain't going to pay you, and this only job he got for you, get your money. And that made that session so much better for me. I mean, when the Outlaws walked in the same session and heard them, and I looked at, I forgot which one I looked at, but I told him, I said, you gotta admit he sound like him. He said, yeah, maybe who's going to sound like somebody? You know, but they didn't go off on me, or they didn't, because see, Pac said that me, Tyrone, and the Outlaws and him was family. Like, beyond just the Death Row family. Like, we was our own family, you know, because we weren't really being embraced a lot. So he always used to tell us when we locked the door to be all of a sudden there eating or whatever, that we was like the center core of the family. So I feel like when they saw me, would they feel like, nigga, I'm outside of the family, you know, that I just betrayed the family? And they didn't do that, though. They didn't look at me like, they looked at me like, you was here, you working hard, you doing what you do. It's what he hired you to do, as well as Jewell. But Jewell was like, at first, she was kind of like, you know, Jewell was like a writer. And she kind of went like, she was kind of like angry with it. She was like, when he came out that booth, she told him, you don't even know what a real nigga you sound like. Something like that. You know, or you don't realize how real the nigga is that you sound like. You may sound like something like that. You may sound like him, but you don't even realize. And she was on some old, you know, Jewell is the only girl I ever saw step to Suge like she ain't a bit scared of this nigga. I remember Jewell particularly looking at Suge talking about, nigga, I know you don't want me to go get my homeboys and come up in on your ass, nigga. There's only a few people I saw, you know, everybody say, if Suge did this, I wouldn't let him do this to me. But I watched that nigga check so many niggas that didn't act like that when he got at him. But the only few I ever saw that really stepped to him or said what they wanted to say, Heron, rest in peace, Heron. I watched him talk to Suge like, nigga, what? And I watched Rock. I watched Rock say something to him. And then I watched Jewell. Jewell was like, nigga, I know you don't want me to bring my niggas up in here. And that nigga, all he did was put his arm around and pulled her into the office where he was so that I could hear all of it. I was like, damn, she a writer. She said, that's the Suge? You know, like, damn.
Hello all, once again it's J-Mix here, and I'd like to thank all my YouTube subs and viewers. I got plenty more content to come. Thank you all for being patient, and I'll see you on the next upload. One love, everybody.
Hey, this is Money B from Digital Underground, and I'm interrupting this J-Mix interview to ask all my friends to check out the Going Way Back Show live stream every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on TRadiov.com. And be sure to subscribe to the Going Way Back Show YouTube channel. See you then. Peace.
J-Mix exclusive.
What up, shut up.